I've lost 60 pounds eating high fiber, low fat foods, just like the ones you're going to see in today's video. But the other side of that coin was being prepared. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do just that in a very simple way. All right, guys, so let's head into the kitchen and I'm gonna show you how to do the quickest, easiest capsule meal prep that will get you set up for the entire week. All right, so let's just jump right into this. So I'm gonna start by prepping my chickpeas. Now, one thing you should know about me is that I don't eat canned beans anymore. Ever since I discovered making them in the Instant Pot, I just cannot go back. They turn out soft as butter, no joke. So I just start by soaking my beans overnight, and then in the next morning, I just dump them out, give them a good rinse, and then throw them back in the Instant Pot with some fresh water. And I personally like cooking my beans on high pressure for about 28 minutes, and they are perfect every single time. All right, so the chickpeas are done. This is what they look like. And I always do that, soft as butter test. And yep, it passed the test as per usual. So anyways, there are two different ways that I like to prep my chickpeas or any type of bean every single week. One is I like to prep some fiber protein shakes for my breakfast. And then secondly, I just like to have the beans on hand in the freezer so that I can grab them out for any purpose, whether it be a shake, a soup, a salad, whatever I need them for. So that's the other great thing about making them in the Instant Pot is that you just make them with no added spices or salt or anything. That way you can use them as you like. So here I'm just starting to portion them out, which these bags are going to go in the freezer. Now I like to portion them out in 1.5 cup sizes. That's because 1.5 cups equals about an average can of beans. That just keeps things simple and makes it a lot easier for me to know when I go to take them out of the freezer exactly how much I'm grabbing. Now, the alternative to that is that you can easily just throw them in a large Ziploc bag or a reusable bag and just make sure that you freeze them nice and flat. And then they actually break up pretty easily, so you can do it that way too. I always have beans in my freezer, so whether it's chickpeas, pinto beans, black beans, those are some of my favorite, but I always make them from scratch and then I throw them in my freezer. Whenever I see that I'm getting low, I get right back to it. So you will never see my freezer without beans. And I gotta say, just one more side note about making them from scratch, you save so much money. And in today's economy, honestly, that is everything when it comes to our food. So you just get so much more bang for your buck. At any rate, so we are gonna jump ahead to the next thing that I do with these beans. Well, I guess partly with these beans, and that is my fiber protein shakes. So if you're new to my channel, these are shakes that I drank every single day for breakfast while I was actively losing the 60 pounds. I have all kinds of different delicious flavors. So today I'm just going to be showing you my coffee crisp as well as my Snickers flavor. So these are really easy to prep and I find them incredibly easy in the morning when you're just getting up, running out the door when they are already prepped. So basically I'm just throwing all the ingredients, everything except the liquid stuff. So any of my shakes that call for vanilla extract, any type of juice, and of course any plant-based milk. So basically all you do is throw the quote unquote dry ingredients into these bags and then pop them in the freezer, and they hold up really well in the freezer. I mean, personally, I've never gone more than probably 2 months with having these shakes prepped in my freezer. So I can't say for sure how much longer than that they last, but I would guess probably at least up to 6 months that they're good. But if you have a lazy Sunday and you can just prep these shakes in advance, then do it, because honestly, it just makes your morning so easy to crack one of these bags open, dump them in the blender, add your milk, and away you go. You have a super delicious, healthy, easy breakfast. Doesn't get easier than this, especially when you make them in advance. So I love having a ton of different flavors. Like I said in today's video, I'm just showing you how to prep the coffee crisp and the Snickers shake, but I tend to do this with all of my shakes and it just works out so well. So if you are interested in trying one of these shakes, I'm gonna have the Snickers shake posted in my description box below. So when the video is done, you can just go down there and take a quick screenshot of that recipe. If you're new to my fiber protein shakes, give that one a try. It is a favorite of many. It is a favorite of mine, so you won't be disappointed. So anyways, give that one a try, and if you're sold on them, give my other ones a try as well. Prep them in advance like I showed you in today's video, and they will quickly become one of your favorite go-to breakfast recipes. All right, guys, so I just wanted to jump on here for a very quick second before I finish showing you that simple meal prep, and that is just to say that for the next 48 hours only, I'm going to be running an incredible sale on my Shake Off the Weight ebook, as well as Spud Skinny, which is my brand new low-fat, all-potato recipe ebook. Both of these books are quite literally my most popular books. So the Shake Off the Weight book contains 22 different fiber protein shakes that I was drinking to get 60 pounds off. I replaced my breakfast with one of these shakes every morning, kept me full till lunch. It works like magic. They are amazing. And the second book is, like I said, my all potato recipe ebook. The thing about this potato recipe ebook is that even though I figured out a way to remove all the fat, so there's no oil whatsoever, making them perfect to eat for weight loss specifically, I was able to create recipes that were still really full in flavor. So both of these books are my personal favorites as well, and they're on sale right now for only $8 for both of them. So to give you some perspective, Spud Skinny alone retails for $16.99 at its original price, and a lot of people do buy my books at original price. So if you want to take advantage of this sale, the link will be found in my description box below. But I'm telling you, with spring here, summer around the corner, if you're serious about getting on your health and weight loss journey, these two books will definitely point you in the right direction. These are quite literally the same recipes that I was using to get the weight off myself. So that's how I'm confident in saying that. So anyways, if you want to check out that sale, the link can be found in my description box below. Also, if you stick with me to the end of this video, there's going to be a bonus surprise at the end. So let's continue on, and I'll see you at the end of the video. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is something that I've actually been doing for years. I love doing this, and I don't know too many other people that do this, and that is just to simply make some frozen fruit bowls. So what I mean is I take a whole whack of frozen fruit, typically the fruit that I buy at Costco. I love buying all my organic frozen fruit from there, and then I portion it out into these containers or into a bowl, and then that way I can just have that as a snack. So I grab it out of the freezer, I let it defrost naturally. I never pop it in the microwave or anything like that. I just let it sit on my counter for about 2 hours or so before I know that, I'll be wanting to have one for a snack, and that's it. So many people think that you can only eat fresh fruit this way, but I discovered this method a long time ago, and it works wonders. I absolutely love it, especially if you buy high quality fruit like at Costco or Sam's Club. You won't even really be able to taste the difference between fresh and frozen. This is perfect if you live in a cold climate like I do, because you can do this all year long. Honestly, give it a try. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is how to make your own homemade oil-free French fries. So you're going to start by soaking them in a bowl of ice cold water. That just helps to get some of that excess starch off. Then you're going to blanch them in boiling water for exactly 5 minutes. I just added a little splash of vinegar. That just helps to keep the fries intact. So once you have them in that boiling water, you want to watch them really closely. So stand by and wait. And when the 5 minutes is up, you want to strain them from the water. Ideally, you want to let them cool down, but in this case I didn't, and they still turned out just fine. So next you're going to put them on some type of large baking sheet, and it's really important to make sure that it's large enough that you can evenly spread the fries out, because when you don't have them spread out well enough, then what happens is that they will just freeze on top of each other, and then you're going to have troubles breaking them off. It'll just be a bunch of chunks of frozen French fries. So even mine, it was a little bit crowded, but it still did the trick. So from there, you're going to pop these fries into the freezer for minimum about 3 hours. This was after 3 hours, and as you can see, they were frozen pretty well, enough that I had to actually break them up a bit. So yeah, once they're frozen, break them up into individual pieces, throw them in a freezer bag, and you are good to go. I personally love having these French fries on hand for both myself and my kids. I mean, honestly, at the store, the very few fries that are oil-free that I've found cost an arm and a leg. So that is how easy they are to make your own French fries. You can take them out as much or as little as you want, season them up, throw them in the oven just like you would any other potatoes, and away you go. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to batch prep is some quinoa. Now, a lot of you guys have heard of frozen rice. Well, you can do frozen quinoa pretty much the exact same way. So basically, you just make the quinoa, whatever the instructions are on the package. It's usually a 2-to-1 ratio. So you whip up your quinoa, make sure it's nice and fluffy, not too overcooked, not too moist. You just want it nice and fluffy, and you're going to let the quinoa cool down completely, and then you're going to grab some freezer bags, and I personally like to portion it out into 1/2 cup sizes because sometimes I like to mix my starches. So I might do a 1/2 cup of quinoa with a 1/2 cup of beans in a salad or something. So yeah, 1/2 cup just seems to do the trick. Oops, so the quinoa wasn't the last thing that I had batch prepped. So it's actually the lentils. I just recently put out a video showing how I made my fiber protein shake using lentils. It literally has 20 grams of fiber and 20 grams of protein. The shake is amazing. And just like the beans, you literally can't taste it in the shakes. It's such an easy way to get more beans and more lentils in your diet. I'm telling you, those shakes are everything. So basically with the lentils, again, just like the quinoa, I like to portion it out into 1/2 cup sizes. It just makes it really convenient because then I can throw it in the shake, I can throw it in a salad. I can even take these out and make a quick little soup for lunch or something. So it's just really easy when you know your portion sizes, you have it all labeled, all organized, then you are setting yourself up for success to stay on your health and weight loss goals all week long. All right, guys, I'm going to leave the video here. I hope this meal prep will help you get ready for your week. And like I promised, if you stayed to the end of this video, the first 5 people to click the link to my sale will be getting the bundle for free. And for the rest of you, take advantage of that sale, both books for only $8 for the next 48 hours only. Link is in the description box below. See you guys in the next one.